believe electric vehicles will actually, wipe out the demand on, oil. It's just not going to happen. Even if it's going to happen, it will take time. Not now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AfricaNEV Podcast once again. My name is Gad Ashiabo, and I'm here with my co-hosts.
My name is Olugo Kuntolu, and I wonder each time you mention your name, you always nod in confidence, like that's the name of the king of Ghana.
Because it's a beautiful name, man. Okay, my name is Gad Ashiabo. And today,
the way you say it, you nod and do.
Yes, I am very excited about my name, man.
Oh, man. Okay.
I'm going to cut this back out. Anyway, today, once again,
but now everything out. We are having fun. Must it be serious? It's all true.
Okay. And today, once more, we have as our special guests John Misingo, all the way from Kenya. Hello, John.
Yes.
Welcome to the AfricaNEV Podcast.
Thank you very much.
Hello, John. What's up?
Hi, Olukokun. How are you?
I'm fine.
So, two husbands and a bachelor. Anyway, so today we want to talk about the automotive space in Africa. And I am supposed to start with a brief background about the African automotive space. So I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So let's start with the global automotive market. As you can all see on your screen, this is a chart that we developed based on data from OICAP. Now, you can see that from 2005 to 2009, the global automotive market, it increased and then reduced because of, you all remember, the global economic crisis in 2009, originated from the US. Do you remember?
Yes, I'm with you.
Good. Then you saw that the market began to pick up, where we have a maximum of around 96 million cars annually by 2017. Then from 2017, the line starts trending down. Okay. Now, one of the things that you will see is that this whole chart generally tends to track closely with GDP growth. All right. And these are new cars that are sold every year. The red ones are passenger vehicles, and then is it blue or green? What was the color?
Oh my God. Are you colorblind?
I'm not colorblind. The green ones are light commercial vehicles, like what we use for trucks in Ghana. The Kenyans call matatus, and the Nigerians call what? Bus. All right. Okay. This is the same chart. This is the same chart from a different perspective, just to give you the differences in proportions. All right. Now, here we want to compare the portion of those sales that are coming from or coming to Africa. And as you can see, we are basically insignificant. Or you don't agree?
Well, I do not like the word insignificant, really.
That is the reality. We are a rounding error as a continent. John, do you disagree with my assessment?
You could say negligible, but not insignificant.
John, what do you say?
Okay, to be honest, I mean, look at that. That is even better.
Yes,
That
yeah.
is
So,
that is
this to
that
give
is
a different perspective.
Yeah, I had to look at this, and I thought that I was dreaming because I did not expect our numbers to be that low.
Oh, really?
The whole of Africa. I mean,
The
look
whole
at the.
percent from way back. When it comes to new vehicles, but when it comes to used vehicles, have you seen our numbers? Come on, guys.
That is it. Exactly. Exactly.
Let me
Yeah.
bust your bubble. Let me bust your bubble. So, like this chat is for new cars, right? Let's take 2017 as an instance. In 2017, as a continent, we consumed almost 1 million brand new cars. Do you know the amount of used cars that we imported? Around 1.7 million.
Mm-hmm.
So, Olukoku, even when it comes to used cars, still, all right?
God.
Now, John, I think I'm discouraging you. This is the fact.
By the God, you just said that including used vehicles, the whole of Africa,
No.
1.7 million.
No, what I said was that we bought, I think, around 800, 900,000
Yeah.
brand new cars. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then for used ones, around 1.7 million.
That number is still low. The whole African continent.
I am telling you. This is data. Anyway, to also put a point on it. One thing is that data in Africa can be spotty. All right.
Yeah.
So there's some countries, especially the minor ones, that I mean minor in terms of population and number of vehicles that they import, that you may not even get data for. Okay. But even if you factor that in, you are not.
Yeah, it doesn't change a lot.
Now, this chart, the next chart is, we are comparing Africa to the top 3 car markets in the world. Okay? Before you were saying you saw the whole world, then you saw Africa compared to the entire world. All right? This chart is very, very, very important. Because in this chart, we are comparing Africa to the top 3 markets. And what are the top 3 markets? They are Europe, number 1. Sorry, they are China, America, and Europe. Then also, statistically speaking, 30% of all cars currently go to China. So we are looking at 26 to 30 million cars every year, brand new. All right. America, you can see from the charts.
Yeah.
You can see where America is. This is America, Canada, and Mexico. NAFTA, that's NAFTA. They are calling themselves a different thing now. Then, of course, we have Europe. Now, look at where Africa is compared to the top 3 markets. All right. However, I want you to notice something about China. In 2005, look at how many cars were sold in China. About 6 million cars, right?
Yeah.
For Europe, it was around 18 million. And then America, it was around what? 20 million cars.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward to 2017. Can you see that China, the sales have grown consistently? I've noticed that.
You see, you can never doubt the revolution of the car industry in China as a result of what we are looking at right now. I mean, resorting to what we are looking at right now. I understand that there is a lot of restrictions when it comes to car making in China. but they have a lot of factories, small factories that make up of that make up of automobile industries, and all these numbers are counted. Now, if we blow up this chart, I'm sure we'll be able to see that most of these cars fall into some small sizes vehicles that are being produced in China, and because they are good in record keeping, the numbers are there, the data are there for them to for us to always see.
No, this is for these are passenger and light commercial vehicles.
But we know that passenger vehicles are usually larger, more in terms of sales than commercial, especially.
Of course. We saw that from the first couple of charts.
Yeah, with my understanding, China produced more of these low-cost, small vehicles, more than the big ones for commercial and larger ones for passenger, like SUV and all of that. So that may be the result of this chart we are looking at. But that's my take.
John, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, yeah. Even if we were to say, as Oluko-kun is saying, about the numbers being small, the fact still remains is that you can see that I think it shows their economic prosperity. That the fact that despite even the numbers being small, a lot of people are able to afford new cars. That is because I know the kind of cars Oluko-kun is talking about. I think they even have an LSEV, a small battery car that is, I think, goes about the maximum speed is about 50 or 60 kilometers per hour, and there are so many of them there. But
a lot of them.
I think that what you guys are failing to understand and appreciate is the transformation that has occurred in China. Okay. So far, like the things you are saying, it's like maybe they're trying to presume or make some inference. All right. The truth of the matter is that about 30 years ago, if you were to go to China, most people were biking or using these tricycles and all that. All right. Today, like you rightly said, because of prosperity, the economic prosperity, and the increasing middle class, they are able to afford cars. And I mean cars, not just some kind of toy. Yeah. All right. So what you are seeing, the key takeaway I want us to get is that what happened in China is a function of demographics and the middle class and an increasing middle class. These two factors are very relevant because it applies to Africa. These are the two things I want us to take away. Okay.
Dad, I appreciate what you're saying. Okay. You get it. It should still remain that no matter the transformation, when we are trying to compare these countries or continents, when we place China side by side with America, Americans are known to be having bulky cars, luxurious ones, heavy trucks, and all of this. I'm not doubting the revolution or the transformation that happened, within these 30 years that you just talked about. But what I'm telling you is that the buying power.
You mean the purchasing power?
You said?
I'm talking about the purchasing power.
I didn't get that.
Are you talking about the purchasing power?
The purchasing power, yeah, that's what I mean by buying. Is a factor in whatever we are seeing. in this chart as well. You cannot overlook that.
No. We are actually acknowledging that. Okay. But the point is this. The point is this. The point is this.
If you give me a two-seater car compared to a Ford truck in America, of course, a lot of people, in fact, 50 people, the same amount you use to buy 50 of those two-seater cars in China is the amount you will use to buy one in America. Now,
So
if you put that,
are you trying to say that even though the Chinese have more numbers currently, in terms of value, the Americans are near or are equal to the Chinese? Is that what you're trying to say? Okay, that is fine. That is fine. What I will do is that we don't have to belabor the point. We will do a different chart by value, okay, and put it out there. We don't have to debate it. We don't find the data and verify whether that is the case or not. Because I know that will not hold up. But hey, but no. You see, we have to move on.
Hold on, please. Hold on. Don't pin me into just one point.
Okay.
I'm the one making the point, right? So let me make it clear. Now, we are not just going to be looking at the values. Okay. We are going to be looking at the different segment of cars that China is having. Are you getting the point? We want to see the lightweight. You want to see the light truck. We want to see the sedan and all of that. Then we'll be able to pinpoint which one is taking the highest number at the end of the day. You get the point.
No, so you want a breakdown by segments. Is that
yes.
It? That's fine. That's fine. You see, but the point is, I think that in talking about this, we are missing the larger points. All right.
Okay.
The larger point is moving people and things in relative comfort. That's the larger point. Okay. And you see, for example, Americans are into pickups. All right. Yeah. If you go to Europe, you will not see pickups. Why? The culture is different, and even when it comes to distances, they are different. I hope you understand. So let us not lose sight of the forest. At the end of the day, be it small cars, be it big cars or whatever, at the end of the day, the fact of the matter remains that today, China is the biggest automobile market in the world.
No doubt.
No doubt. That is the basis. And also, because of that, most of the major automobile companies actually make their revenue in terms of profits from China, as we are talking now. Okay.
Well,
you see, the first what the fundamental is this. All right. And the other fundamental is that when you look at these charts, Africa, okay, if you are a Toyota, a VW, or a Honda, and you are designing a car, you would design a car maybe for China, you design a car for
all the other markets.
You would design a car for America. Then maybe when you finish designing it, you may try to tweak it small for the African market.
Exactly.
But you're not going to design from the ground up for Africa.
Yeah.
Okay. This is also a very important point for us to acknowledge. All right. And it is a direct result of what we are all looking at here. Another way to see the same data, you can see clear. It's clear. Okay. See China. And if this graph, if you extend it back to, let's say, 1980, you will see that China is around the same space as America. Mind you, the population is in billions. So even the American population is like 300 million people, right? The middle class of China now, before you realize, it's even the population of America. I don't know the actual figure as we speak now, but I know that it's in the hundreds of millions. That is very significant. So the other corollary of this graph is that the people who are going to drive or who are driving the automotive market, the actual market, are going to be what? China, Europe, and America. Are we in agreement?
Yeah, that is very true.
Now, we want to talk about Africa. Now, this is a breakdown. So you see Africa, how our vehicle purchase has gone over the years. And you can see that just like everybody else, it tends to follow global GDP growth. You get it? So, of course, with Corona, you know that this chart for 2020, it will be lower. It will be smaller than 2019.
Much lower.
All right. Now, this is where things become interesting. We are trying to look at African vehicle sales by country. And remember, we were talking about the scarcity of data when it comes to Africa. If you see on your right, you can see that not all African countries are represented. Okay, these are the countries that we have data available for. I'm sorry, the chart is not, the statistics is not so well spread out, but you can see clearly that South Africa is the dominant market.
Yeah.
All right. And the Egypt, then Algeria. An interesting thing about most of these guys is that they have all banned the import of used vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you were to see the same graph for used vehicles, you will see that South Africa also is huge. Meanwhile, they have banned used cars. Not because when they import the cars, they use the cars, but they are a transit zone for other countries like the Zimbabwe's, the Lesothos, and all that. They all pass their cars through them. It's the same reason why if this were the chart for how do you call it? Used vehicles for Benin, you see that their imports are very, very high. Meanwhile, Benin is very small. Why? Most of the imports are going through Benin to Nigeria. Okay. So the takeaway from this is that individually, maybe apart from South Africa, Egypt, and Algeria, most African countries, we are small importers when it comes to, or buyers when it comes to electric vehicles. Sorry, I say electric vehicles, to cars. Okay, so we are insignificant. Therefore, if all of a sudden the Toyotas, the Nissans, and the VWs are in a hurry to set up assembly plants, we should ask why and why now. Okay, why not before? Okay, these are the questions we should be.
I can try and attempt to answer that.
Okay.
It's the same reason why Jack Dorsey from Twitter is coming to Africa. It's the same reason Zuckerberg came to Africa. It's the same reason Jack Ma has been visiting Africa as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are the future. And the future of the world. It's as simple as that, by the way. Our middle class is growing. We have a very young, energetic, educated people who are going to be consumers and who are going to make money. For me, I think, I don't know, but I think that is that is it.
John, I mean, you have a very valid point there. Yeah, that is on a general note, you know. But when it comes to vehicles, and we're having these automakers coming into Africa now, if I want to, right, it's
Yeah.
because where they are coming from, they are going fully electric. And Africa is still very, very,
Yeah.
you know, slow to adopt this technology. So they feel they can come in here,
True.
make their money, saturate our market again, and deprive us of the opportunity to enjoy electrification without enjoying their ICE vehicles that are brand new first. Do you get it? You see,
Yeah.
this time around, because of electrification of vehicles, of mobility generally, Africa are poised to enjoy brand new cars.
Yes.
It will be cheaper than ICE, right? At the end of the day, there are a lot of benefits to it. But if they come right now, they saturate the market. In fact, I have had a lot of enticing offers. These automakers are planning. They want you to return your old vehicles for them to give you a brand new one and all of that. I've had a lot of argument with so many people in Nigeria here as well about that this is the best opportunity. That before we go to electrification, we should enjoy these ones first and all of that. I was just like, guys, come off it. The best thing that could happen to us, to Africa right now, is to embrace electrification of mobility, is to embrace electric vehicles right now. That will put us at par with the rest of the world. And
True.
that will boost our economy. That will help us, help every middle class earner or lower class earner so much because of all the advantages we have highlighted in other sessions we've ever had. So if you see them coming here, it's not because they love us. No.
Yeah, that is true.
But
We are
they are
desperate.
coming very desperate. They are losing the market wherever they are coming from. They are losing it fast. I mean,
Yeah.
you say, Norway has always been my right. So I don't feel any love for them coming. And for the points that we have raised, ahead of this session, because in your words, that Africa is insignificant in the automobile buying.
That is currently. It doesn't mean that it will be the same going forward.
No, you see, but as a business person, you need to forecast and say, okay, why haven't they been coming since all these years? You know, it will be the point that, okay, what's their buying strength? What's their purchasing strength? I mean, the whole of Africa only amounts to 1% of the whole total sale, of the world total sale of new vehicles and all of that. So if they are coming right now, you said?
Between 1 to 2%.
There is 1% max, whatever. You know, so I don't feel any love from these guys. I just want them to come here and our policy makers will be able to do the right job by compelling them to give us electric vehicles. But I know this kind of thing can happen in Ghana, it can happen in Kenya, it can happen in Rwanda, Egypt, maybe. You know, South Africa has few electric vehicles to date, you know, as big as their vehicle industry vehicle market is. So it's no love. It's love. I don't feel any love from them. I don't see them coming here to help me or to help us, and that is why I think they are coming here. They are very desperate. You know, all the propaganda of hydrogen vehicles, hydrogen first is not selling yet. John, you want to say something?
Yeah, I actually wanted to say something.
Yes.
Olukokun, you know, there's something. I'll just ask in terms of the economics,
Okay.
because especially for things like public sector transport.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to see, maybe God, you could help us compile this, and we actually just do a comparison. Diesel, a matatu uses a diesel this amount in a month. The cost of buying it is this is X, and this
Because
is
of buying
what
what?
the cost of buying the car, brand new,
Uh-huh.
is X amount, and we just extrapolate it for a year or 3 years.
I
These
think we have
people are
it.
businessmen.
I think that
And we know for a fact that electric cars are cheaper to run.
okay.
And you see, as we just show them data. By the way, for me, that is my feeling. That is my
African-
feeling. That
I think
African
that
is like that already.
yes, we have something like that. Okay, so we can do a different session on that. But I will say this. First of all, is it
I'm sorry, but I keep losing connection, so I'm not hearing you.
okay.
Mm.
You see the map you're looking at right now.
Yeah.
This map is very relevant. This is Africa's used vehicle market and the
Yes.
various policy regimes. This is from UNDP. I think it's for 2017. It's a bit dated because Ghana, for example, our policy has changed. Before we have overage policy. So if you're importing a car more than 10 years old, you pay extra penalty. But now we are banning overage cars and salvage cars. Okay. What you should notice about this graph and the previous one, where you saw the breakdown of car sales by country, is that Africa is a very disjointed market. It's not one homogeneous market when it comes to cars.
Yeah.
So it's very disjointed and very small markets that come together. All right. So therefore, the Continental Free Trade Agreement is a very big thing.
Definitely.
John, are you with me so far?
God, I'm sorry. I don't know what's up with my connection, but I keep in, out. So I'm missing quite a bit of what you're saying.
Okay, maybe try turning off your picture, then we can try. Turn the video and see whether maybe if you improve the connection.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm saying that when you look at this map, your key takeaway should be that Africa is a very disjointed market. Okay.
Yeah.
Made up of small countries, each with various policy regimes and taxation structures. It is not a homogeneous market like maybe China or the Eurozone or America, for example. Okay. So the Continental Free Trade Agreement is going to have an impact one way or another. All right. The next thing is that when you look at the map, you see that a lot of countries allow for the importation of used vehicles. I think it's only 5 countries that have banned used cars altogether. Right. So, which is why our people are able to import these cars, which they find more affordable, either old cars or salvage cars. Is that not so? That's what people are using. Now, what the car companies and our policymakers have done is that they are coming up with new policies. Like, for example, Ghana. I think we'll have a different session for that later on. when you do a breakdown. But the short form of it is that currently Ghana has a new automotive policy. Per the policy, if you are assembling cars here in Ghana, you get tax breaks. Because of the same policy, the import duty on cars has increased from 20% to 35%, I believe. All right. In fact, the total import taxes have jumped from, let me see, share my screen. See that before we have our import regimen of 46.6% of the total value of the car, the CIM value, customs value. All right. Because of the automotive policy, now you end up paying 64%. So the taxes that you pay on used cars have increased. At the same time, they have also banned salvage cars. They have also banned cars that are more than 10 years old. All right? Then they are working on a financing regime for the cars that are locally assembled here. The end game of this is that very soon in Ghana, you see, the used cars are imported by this our people. We have a young man who has a friend in Europe. He imports the cars and sell it locally. All right. Now, maybe you want to buy a Toyota Corolla, a brand new Toyota Corolla that is assembled here in Ghana is going for $10,000. But a used one, it's a 2017 model. You can import it for, I don't know, maybe $8,000. By the time you finish paying your taxes and duties on it, the final cost is $12,000. All right? It doesn't end there. Now, the locally manufactured one, you can get cheap loans from the banks. So instead of paying that $10,000 upfront, you can spread it over over a year or 2 years. The question is this: if you are a customer who wants to buy a car, will you buy the imported one, or that you have to pay cash for at a higher price that is used, or you buy a brand new one that you can spread the payment over a year or 2? What will be your decision? Yes, I want your answer to that statement.
Where I thought you were talking from is the fact that why are Volkswagen, Toyota, and all of them coming to Africa to have a plant?
And this is why. This is why. You see, because when you look at this, the end result of all this is that we are going to become. They're trying to create a new market for their internal combustion engines. All right. Because when you go back and you look at the previous graph about the various car markets, in China today, if you want to buy a new car, you have to enter a lottery, pay money to enter a lottery to have the opportunity to buy the car. And even if you're able to buy the car, you can use the car on certain days, either even numbered days or odd numbers days, depending on your license plate. I hope you understand. Yeah. But if you are buying an electric car, the government will even give you a subsidy, and you can drive the car any day of the week. You get it? So the government is incentivizing the people to buy electric cars. In Europe today, they have these emission targets. And there is no way you can meet this emission target if you are not producing EVs. So there are major markets: China, Europe, even America. Tesla is there. They are all being motivated either through policy or through a better product to go electric. So we are the ones that they want to use for as their cash cow. Aha. That is why I went the way of this whole duty and import tax regime, because the affordability issue is what they're trying to use to drive the conversation. Do you get it? Uh-huh. This is the law in Ghana now. So by October, a lot of people import salvage cars, $3,000, $5,000. You cannot do that anymore. That also means that the entire ecosystem that also supports this whole business is going to collapse. I hope you understand. It's as simple as that. So, Olukoko, I think John is having internet challenges.
Yes.
This is why we need to get Starlink.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is about it for the African automotive markets. Everybody knows that in a few years' time, we're also going to start trending upwards, like John said, because Africa is the future.
Yes,
but
Africa is
whether that future is going to be electric or internal combustion for as long as possible is the fight now. And the car companies are betting that, like Dangote said, it will take at least 10 years.
And I don't really think that oil will crash in the next 2-3 years. Obviously, yes, I know that there's a lot of talk about electric cars and all this, but for us in the African continent, we're a long way away from electric vehicles. It's going to take a very, very long time for us to. That's why we are now taking the opportunity to build a refinery. Despite having all this, I don't believe electric vehicles will actually, wipe out the demand on, oil. It's just not going to happen. Even if it's going to happen, it will take time, not now.
So from 2030 going, and at AfricaNEV, we believe that is very, very erroneous. No, like I was talking about the Ghana automotive policy. Now, when you read the documents, and when you have the session talking about the policy, you see all of you actually show the documents and all that. It is a fantastic idea because it's going to generate jobs. I hope you understand. If you're assembling cars here, that's jobs. Mm-hmm. So it's okay. But you see, the whole policy has one glaring flaw. It does not anticipate the rate of disruption of electric vehicles. It does not take cognizance of the Osborne effect or network effects.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you understand.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody that in the next 3 years, that policy document will be found out to be totally useless. It's become irrelevant.
Yeah, I get your point, sincerely. And the part that pains me mostly is that foreigners are the one seeing or predicting the future of Africa. It's not us, Africans. These are the people that are coming to say, oh, the way these people are growing, the rate of their urbanization, the way they are moving from lower to middle class and all of that. I think these people are the future. I need to go and invest. I need to go and do this. Africans, only few can see this. And that is very sad.
I don't agree with that. I think that by and large, our people, we know what is going on. It's our leaders are too busy trying to take care of their pockets. That is a problem. Is it? we just have to call a spade a spade. That is the actual problem.
Okay, whatever it is, so far you are not talking, so far you are not planning ahead for it, to me, you are irrelevant. You are not preparing for the future we need. You get it?
Yeah.
So foreigners will come and make us again and take us back to slavery of 21st century. So it's a very painful thing, and that is why African EV needs to do more than advocacy. God, I'm really telling you, we need to put our foot down, because I see this organization as one key organization that could drive a lot of changes in Africa. So, and I'm happy at the way we are reaching out to other African countries like John, who is doing very well, you know. So we need to put our foot on ground and take the bull by the horn. That's
John, what do you have to say?
Some internet issues, but I had Olukokun's last part.
okay.
And and Olukokun, I hope that because I've shared our videos widely, and God, I've had people actually want to get more involved. So
Really?
all we can do is yes. So all we can do is keep educating people as much as we can, and I'll still go back to down. For me, it's all about the economics.
And I agree with you perfectly. That was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That was what I was going to say.
You see, if you can save money on this, and someone can actually be shown that it is saving them money, of course they'll go for that option.
Yeah.
So is it? You see, what the point is that like right now, the Ghanaian Parliament and the Ministry of Trade and the President, they are all signed into law or policy. You saw, and when you read the document, it is clearly stated that they want a difference of 63% in taxes paid between cars that are imported and cars that are assembled here. It is clearly stated there, okay? And they also said that for you to partake of this policy, as a Ghanaian company, you must be affiliated with a global brand. I hope you understand. Which means that if you and I, Olukoku, decide to form Olukoku and God Automobile Company, and we want to partake of this grant, we may have to jump through hoops in order to benefit. I hope you understand. But you see, if the economics of EVs are such that even after importing this car and paying these taxes, whatever, I still come out ahead. Everybody is going to go that way. It's like the smartphones and the cellular phones that were. The smartphones are much more expensive, but you see, the utility and the productivity increase renders the costs, the out of purchase costs, irrelevant, so long as you can afford it. Do you get what I'm saying? So for us, it is the how do you call it? It is the solutions that are tailored to the African market. That is where our opportunity space is, and that is where we can drive the conversation aggressively, be it through projects or whatever. I hope you're following me. For example, as we're going to talk about Tesla, like Tesla, for example, they have not made any cars that we can use for what we call trotros in Ghana. The Kenyans call matatus, or you guys call bus. It doesn't seem like they have any immediate plans for a vehicle of that form factor. When
market generally.
You see, because why? When you look at them, where they are coming from, car ownership is a personal something. Okay, but in Africa, 80% of the population uses public transport. It's similar for Ghana, it's similar for Kenya, it's similar for South Africa, Nigeria, wherever you are. That is an underlying factor. I mean, give or take a certain percentage. So a country may be 75%, another country may be 85% or whatever. But overwhelmingly, we use public transport. And by public transport, we are not talking about this kind of big buses. The big buses, we use them for intercity travels. Even that they are the minority on those routes.